How's it going? You're watching the Green Machine live, your home for Irish football news and nostalgia. And, well, it's finished. Republic of Ireland 3, Gibraltar 0. It was a little bit hairy. It was 0-0 at half time. And it's kind of looking like San Marino 2.0. But thankfully, it wasn't the case. What did you think of it? Let us know. As always, what we want to hear from you. We'll be live for the next about 20, 25 minutes or so, or whenever you want me, I suppose. Want me. There we go. We got the little bar there at the end. Tell us what you think. Are you convinced? Was that enough to keep Kenny in the job, or do you want him out? That simple, really. First half didn't really give a lot. Didn't leave a lot to be desired. To be fair, it was very poor. It didn't seem like the players were really playing for the manager, and I hate to say that. I hate to see it, and I hate to say it. But there just seems to be no vigor in the team, no purpose again. It's the same stuff. 5 players at the back against Gibraltar, a team ranked 201 in the world. And finally though, taking off Collins, bringing on Johnson, who I have to say was really, really good when he came on. He looked lively. You have to ask the question, why wasn't he on in the start? Just simple 4-4-2. Sometimes you can overthink these things. Just go about it. Just do it. Get it done. 4-4-2. Go at them, get a couple of early goals, open them up. But thankfully that's the case anyway, because if we hadn't got that result, God knows what would have happened. The team were also, must be noted, not overwhelmingly, but they were slightly booed at half-time. But whether that was the manager, just the performance, or just the fact that it was 0-0, I don't know. But tell us what you think. I want to hear from you guys. 40, just a couple of stats to throw at you. Apparently 42,156 attending the match. I think that's how many tickets were sold. I don't know. It did look like 42,000 to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Of course, Jason Knight got man of the match. Well deserved, actually. I thought he was excellent as a right wing back, deputising for the suspended Matt Doherty. What did you think of him as a right back? Did you think could he be an option going forward for Ireland if we don't have a left back? Maybe if we don't have Ryan Manning, put Doherty on the left and play Jason Knight on the right. I mean, obviously, this is a very poor side, although they were organised, and we did say that in the pre-show, whether interview with Jamie Bossio, Nick's interview there, he did say that they would be very well organised, very well set up, and they were, to be fair. We didn't really trouble them. I think we had 2 shots, I think, in the first half. So, we were worried about that. But Jason Knight, I mean, tonight, if you're ever going to have a license to bomb forward as a wing back, tonight was really the night we're going to do. He had oodles of space all night, but he did really, really well. But so, tell us what you think. Would he be a good option? Who knows? Just some other stats from the game. Ireland had 12 shots in the end on target. Gibraltar had 1. They had 69% possession, 575 completed passes, and 3 fans on the pitch. 2 during the game and 1 at the very end. Of course, they don't show it on RTE. What did you think of it? Let's see some of the comments coming in. I'm going to wait a few more minutes before we get them. But what did you think? Is it enough? Are you still Kenny in, or are you Kenny out? Should he stay on after this, or should he stay on for the rest of the campaign, or should he be gone after this? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from the Ireland fans out there. Obviously, we put a few pictures up during it. Some of the comments, get your money back. Well, I can't get my money back because I'm in the media section. I actually gave my ticket up to my mate Kenny's dad, actually, which is kind of funny because he actually gave his ticket up. I took it off him and then started going to the matches and then started doing this. It's amazing, isn't it? Circle of life and all that. So, right, we're going to get into the questions here. Some of the comments. I want to hear from you. Have your say, get involved. We try to be the voice of the fans. I want to hear from you guys. You hungry? Not bothered? You happy? Kenny in? Kenny out? Want to hear it? Well, there we go. Darren Sweeney answers that one. Kenny needs to go now. Darren watching on a Facebook channel. Fair enough. Saoirse Morrissey. I think Kenny needs to stick with the back 4. We were very poor in the first half. We were Saoirse. We were really, really poor. Very impotent. No real purpose about it. Like, I was watching it, obviously, as you all were. And I could see it from here, perfect view. And Knight is a noodles of space. And O'Shea tips it to Egan, then tips it to Jason Knight. And you're thinking, why didn't you just bypass Egan? Just play it straight to Knight. He had loads of space. Just dithering too much, just playing passes for the sake of it. Sometimes you just need to cut out the middleman, just go for it. I know I'm speaking in very non-technical terms, with your low block nonsense and all that, but sometimes you just have to play the man in. He's in space, get it forward. There just didn't seem to be any pace about the team or purpose in the first half. John Griffin, fantastic performance in the second half. Yes, it was, to be fair, John. But would you argue why, the change? Collins came off. He is more suited for a back three, to be fair. A back five. But why didn't the manager set up with a back four in the first place? A more direct approach against a very poor team who we knew were going to put 9 men behind the ball or 10 men behind the ball. Eddie, we're in 3 at the back. Okay. John McCarthy, 5 at the back needs to stop. I think there's a time and a place. I think there's a time and a place to play it, but I don't think Gibraltar at home is. It has worked for us in the past, but not Gibraltar at home. So I do agree with that. But you see, that's the thing, isn't it? We need to be dynamic. The management team needs to be dynamic. They need to, you can't just copy and paste it sometimes. You have to look at the opposition and say, do you know what? We need to go a bit more direct here tonight. Adam Kavanagh on our Facebook. On a positive note, Johnson showed a direct style the fans want to see from the squad, and McGrath performed well against this level of opposition. For a game like this, Cullen was way too safe, and every one of Parrott's touches was a loose one. A routine win against them, nothing amazing, still lots to unfold across the campaign. That's very true. And that what you said there about Cullen, Martin won't be happy if he's watching. Hi, Martin. For me, Cullen, always far too many touches. Was watching him in the first half. It's Gibraltar. 1 or 2 touches, then he plays it. But sure, the moment's gone, isn't it? And that's been a massive problem for him. And I think will be a massive problem for Josh Cullen in the Premier League. If you're going to play a holding role in the Premier League, you need to be super fast, and he's not. He's very, very tentative in his approach. There's my word of the day: tentative. Soccer podcast show on YouTube. A win is a win. Yes, but a win with substance. Was that a win with substance? It's not a rhetorical question. I'm genuinely asking. Are you guys happy with it? It's a 3-0 win, but are you happy with that, with the level of performance? Is this enough? Nick Menzies, who's this guy? Kenny should have had the formation sus before the game. Win is a win. Great to see Ida break his duck, but some glaring issues persist. I was very happy. I didn't even have the time to put up the little graphic for Adam Ida. He's finally broken his international duck, and hopefully that will open the floodgates. It has taken some time, 3 years. But, John Aldridge took 18 months. So, but yeah, no, very happy for the lad, that it meant a lot for him. And he was taken off at half-time against Greece. He was very poor in that game, but it's good to see that he's got himself off the mark. And we really, really hope that, he kicks on from there. Was actually a captain's assist there, lovely cross in from James McLean. Not a decent night, to be fair, and he got lovely ovation as he went off the pitch. He got a sort of like a guard of honour and a few slaps in the back of the head. Just there, I missed it. I was too busy watching the lad get rugby tackled. Brian Baru, how you doing, Brian? We won. We won by the same amount as France. France only beat Greece by a goal. Greece only beat us by a goal. That sounds like Kenny economics to me. Do you reckon that's what he's going to go with in the post-match? Yeah, okay, look, fair enough. But you have to understand, Brian, the first goal was the easiest goal I even would have scored. That actually I probably would have missed. But even that, it was a mistake by the goalkeeper. And to be fair to Johnson, not taking away from it, right place, right time. And he did the business. But it wasn't from a great move. It was from a set piece, but it was a complete error. But sometimes that's what you need. You need to go in off a player's backside sometimes, but is it a win with substance? Sean Ruan. Jason Knight already right back to Matt Doherty. Well, he's had more of an impact. That is 100% true there. But look, if there was ever a game, though, where you're going to have the freedom to bomb on, and that's been a problem, I think, Sean, with our fullbacks. We play a wing-back system. Sorry, a wing-backs, not fullbacks. We play a wing-back system with wing-backs that don't fly forward. That's what they call wing-backs. They play down the wing. They're an extra option for the anchor man, for the Josh Cullen is supposed to be on the ball, looking up, knowing where his wing backs are going to be. They're going to be ahead of him. He's going to play him in. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We don't do it, though. They don't move forward. But to be fair, Jason Knight did tonight, and I thought he was very, very good and well deserving of his man of the match. So congratulations to him. Dave McGuinness. Hello, David. A little less heated tonight, I hope. Similar to Andorra, Armenia, Malta. Taking too long to break these teams down. Gibraltar were hopeless. Great to get the win, but the Euros are gone, and this does nothing to alleviate that disappointment. Do you guys out there share David's negative opinion? I'm not saying he's wrong, but yeah, I mean, it was very bad in the first half. It really was. Great, we've won, but we're finally off the board, but very poor in the first half. Jack Kavanagh, how you doing, Jack? Embarrassing the management celebrating the third goal like that. You're the second person saying that, Jack. It was a bit over the top, but look, to be fair to Stephen Kenny, he's been under a lot of pressure. We saw that with the clip from the post match, or sorry, from the we saw it in the pre-game show with Philip Quinn, and he kind of snapped at him a little bit. So he is under a lot of pressure. So I'll give him that one. Great. Paul Colton on YouTube. Great performance from Mikey Johnson after coming on at halftime. He is a super sub. I think he's a modern day Stephen Hunt. Jack Kavanagh, how you doing, Jack? Ireland should be moved to a different stadium. The stadium, it's only used for the number one team of the world. Yeah, well, we'd have to rename the page, wouldn't we, from Lansdowne Road to God knows where. No, Jack, absolutely not. Besides, I've booked all my flights to Dublin. Brian Brew, again, if we beat Greece at home, the Euros are not gone. Not sure why everyone insists it is over. Yeah, but Brian, do you honestly believe that this team's going to kick on? Yet again, not a rhetorical question. Do you actually believe that? Have you seen enough? And if you have seen enough, please share. Personally, I don't think we have. The performance against France, okay, but it was against France. It was one of the big boys. We historically always up our game against the big boys. So I don't know. I really don't know. Dave McGuinness, great to see some individuals do well, and I to get us go after a tough season for him. From Dave McGuinness. Glenn Forbes, I'm kind of dreading the Kenny press conference. He's going to be very bullish, and we took so long to break them down. I don't think this performance is anything to be shouting about. I do agree, Glenn. I agree. If we had a torn into them, and we're 2-3 up after 15, 20 minutes, really gone at them, got the crowd on side. We started doing a Mexican wave at about the, I think it was 75th, 80th minute. The crowd, it was boring. It was like watching, gonna show my age, but when you used to watch the schoolboys play at Wembley, and you'd have all the kids in the crowd, and just no atmosphere. You just hear the kids screaming. It was just one of those. It was just so flat. Saoirse Morrissey again. Nice should be ahead of Doherty, especially now Doherty is going to Saudi Arabia. Oh, have you heard something, Saoirse? We haven't. Is he going to Saudi Arabia? To be fair, that's actually probably is. And you know what? Actually, Martin would probably still say that was a good move from Keane Sweeney Mulhall. Sorry, Kenny's time may be up, but this team is solid, and with the right manager, we could be a force. I do agree with that, Keane. I do agree with that. I do think we have the players to play a good style of football. It's international football. You know, it's different. It's not club level where you have the players every day. So there's enough there, and other teams have that problem as well. So I think there's enough there as well to mold these guys to make them greater than some of the parts. And you know what? The parts, they're quite good. Some very good young talented players there. So I do agree with that. I'm not saying we're going to be world beaters, but I think we can be better than what we've shown. Jack Kavanagh, why don't we just get rid of our football team for a few years and focus on the rugby? Jesus, Jack. Are you trying to wind these lads up, are you? I want to get out of here at a decent time. Brian Baru, I'm still Kenny in. I kind of gathered that, Brian. We have championship players. Not sure why people think we should do any better. I do think we could. I just don't like the way the team's set up. And if I dare say so, Brian, I don't think they're quite playing for the manager. That's what I got from there. It was very... Johnson's come on. He's relatively new to the camp. Kenny has brought him in. He's Kenny's man, and he's playing for him. But I think some of the other lads maybe aren't. That's the opinion I get. I could be wrong, but I just think we're very, very lackluster, shall we say. Sorcha Morrissey, I was a huge fan of Kenny and I supported him from the beginning, but I think he has reached his limit. But who will take over? That's an interesting question that Sorcha's asked. Who is going to take over if he goes now? Obviously, if they've made their mind up and he goes at the end of the campaign, if we don't qualify and if it is a disaster, but you never know, he might turn it around. Who do we get in? Glenn Forbes, any thoughts on Lee Brady retiring as a pundit? I actually met Lee Brady yesterday, Glenn. His family were in Disney World. And sorry, not Disney World. He said Disney World, the Disney store on Grafton Street. So I'm not into that. I didn't actually know until I read the paper. A friend of mine sent on the screenshot. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he probably wasn't enjoying it as much when when Eamon and Johnny went. You know, he's kind of seemed a bit out of place, hasn't he? But RT are kind of in a youth movement at the moment. So it is sad. Those three lads, legends. The four of them actually together with Bill, brilliant. And it is a shame, but unfortunately all things come to an end. David Pearson, that's touting. Nathan Kinahan, Kenny until end of campaign. Don't pressure any manager to come in the middle of a campaign. As much as I want Kenny out, keep him until November and March if we get to the playoffs. Anthony Filiganati, who would you like to see replace Stephen over the summer for the September games? That's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. I reckon it'd be John O'Shea would probably come in, if I'm honest, if he does go. He's very highly regarded by everyone that's worked with him. Not just Ireland, but Sunderland as well. So I reckon John O'Shea. Graham Farrell, I think he needs to go. It's garbage. When we went forth back, we looked a lot better, but different manager with a different perspective might help. Don't know what Andrews and Shea are bringing as assistants. Well, as I just said there, Graham, O'Shea is very, very highly respected. Dave McGuinness, Kenny should go. The next 3 games will be brutal, and White Pacific lame up manager. What to achieve with keeping him? The Euros are gone. His entire reign was based on the campaign. Don't see his finishing higher than a bottom 2 if he stays. Philippe Davila, will Stephen Kenny continue? Did his victory against Gibraltar save him? Kenny must step aside. Unfortunately, our victories are against weak teams, and that puts us far from the aspirations of going to the Euro Cup or the World Cup. We went back on what had been won with Trapattoni and O'Neill. That's interesting. Dave McGuinness, another victory against nothing team that Kenny will talk about like he's beaten Argentina. He will talk about this win like COVID forever. Oh, we're getting political now, David. Steady on. Up at 5 a.m. in the morning in Australia, poor performance from an Irish team. Sorry to hear that, George. I do feel your pain. Graham Farrell, I'm starting to worry about Smallbone. Very good under 21 now. Both games have completely passed him by this window. I do agree. He did play a part in the equaliser in Greece, but yes, he doesn't look comfortable. He doesn't look comfortable at this level. Big season coming up for him. McGuinness gave the ball well at cheaper times. This is on Smallbone. Our crossing, absolutely. Sorry, not on Smallbone, on the team. Our crossing and set pieces leave a lot to be desired. Cannot understand how we've regressed so much in that area. 2 crosses all night of notes. Graham Farrell, Kenny Nomics. There you go. Don't you dare steal that on me, Graham. Niall Barrett, if Greece beats Gibraltar home by less than 3, then today is a win. I like it, Niall. Michael Cooney should never take in until the 53rd minute score. I do agree. I do wholeheartedly agree with that. 201 in the world. 201 in the world. Let's just remember that, folks. 201 in the world. David Lacey, just think how many goals we would have scored if Kenny was not so conservative in the first half. Nice to win, but he's still hopelessly out of his depth. Chris Earls, be interesting to see how well Knight can defend and replace Doherty. He's starting to annoy me now too. Yeah. Gary Monahan, hi there. It's a win against a very poor sided team. How are you doing, Gary? Hope you're enjoying the program, if not the match. If you take a look at our performance against France in the Aviva, yeah, but I mean, as I said, the big one was always going to be Greece away. Dave McGuinness, the celebrations are awful. Show some humility. The majority of fans of the stadium are disappointed and don't want to see Kenny dancing. Michael Kearney, qualification was done when the draw was made. We had no hope. Yeah, but still expected us to be competitive. Shanko Brady Lug, time is king. Sebastian Knowlton, thank God that weed is legal where I live. Where do you live, Sebastian? Oh, yeah. Vegas, I think. Keane Sweeney Mulhall again. I'd agree with Brian. I've been saying we have a solid team. It's not tournament winning worthy by any means, but I can see it's getting somewhere. Adam Kavanagh, a pre-season friendly atmosphere. It really was. Graham Farrell, we've more chance of Brian Brew coming back away in the Battle of the Boyne than us beating the Dutch, the Greeks, and the French. I do like a Graham, bit of history in there. Dave McGuinness, Obafemi was great, looked dangerous on the ball. He was a danger to himself because he actually injured himself. That's why he went off. Gary Monaghan, look, it's not over yet, but it's a massive ask for us to qualify. Yet again, I think it's just be competitive. It's just be competitive. And we weren't against Greece. We only lost by 1. We could have lost by 3 or 4. Dave McGuinness to the fella who said, if we beat Greece, the Euros is back on, please send me some of your meds. I know, David. Come on now. We're getting naughty again. Michael Cooney is done. We'll be lucky to get 3rd. Declan Fitzpatrick, I'm going to keep the faith. Good man, Declan. Gary Monaghan. Shut up, Jackie Muppet. Oh, dear. Adam T. This result better not have saved Kenny's job. Hopefully this is just his stint ending on a high. Fair. Gary Monaghan, I hate to agree with you, bud, but I can't let go yet. Just can't do it, Gary. Vandenberg, you should invest in American football. No. Just no. Dave McGuinness makes an interesting point. I do think Kenny has been slowly losing the players' dressing room since the autumn series of games. I do think that, yes. If we're talking about November, yes. Unbelievably, yes. Massive mistake there. Had a chance to blood in some players, but tried to go for a win against Malta. A result to sort of get people off his back, and it backfired because it was poor. Anthony Filiganati. Players of their championship is probably about 6 or 7 best in the league. In Europe, just need a good manager that can get most out of these lads. Brian Brew again. Kenny is married to my sister's husband's cousin, and so I have to like him. Fair play to James and 100 counts. Good man, Brian. Keep it in the family. Brian Cooney, completely fair. Me personally don't see anything positive whatsoever. Christopher Greeny. Players have no time for him. What the mic picked up speaks loud. Good crosses will. The player knows the crosses weren't up to standard. Well, he's trying to encourage him. Sean Ruin. Both tonight and against Greece, Kenny hit both formation a lineup wrong. He looks a bag of nerves on the sideline at this stage. Well, I mean, he is under serious pressure. Scott Sheridan wants John O'Shea to get the job. Give him the job. Adam T. I wonder if Gary O'Neill would take the job. Well, he was fired today, wasn't he? Even though he finished 15th in the Premier League, and they've got in some former lad from Rayo Vallecano. Soccer podcast show with Northern Ireland losing at home to Kazakhstan tonight. Is it time to open a debate again? It's a debate again about a single Irish soccer team. If we could sort out all the nitty gritty and we could sort out all the political stuff, good luck, first of all, then yeah, I why wouldn't, I'd love to see a United Ireland team put our resources together. Just can't happen though. It just won't happen, sorry. McGuinness agrees Smallbone was a bit hit and miss this evening. Graham Farrell is Graham, don't you dare. If I see that on a t-shirt, mate, be talking to my solicitor. Gary Monaghan, I hope that you're wrong. I'm sure that you hope you are the same. Yeah, look, no one wants to see Stephen Kenny lose his job. Don't want to see an Ireland manager do badly, but you got to call it as you see the damn thing. David Keegan, how you doing, David? Dutch away winnable. Dutch or bottlers? Well, they couldn't even win the Nations League. Shame on them. Luke Meany. Kenny has to go. This is senior international football, and he looks completely out of his depth. Michael Cooney. Oh, yeah, I hope. But that's all it is. Hope. That is on Kenny turning it around. And yes, his contract is up in March to take in a possibility of the playoffs. Graham, how you doing, Graham? Delighted for Ida. Tough journey for him. Was indeed. How did Ferguson Obafemi do as a forward combo? Is there potential there? They looked okay, to be fair, but they didn't get a lot of service. Obafemi's always going to be energetic, but it just wasn't great. Anytime we played it down the right, we looked dangerous, but we didn't play down the right enough. And you have to question some of the players sometimes, when it's on, just play it. But anyway, Graham Farrell. Graham Farrell is not up for a United Ireland team. Can we fuck off with this United Ireland team? Sick of hearing about it. Kenny interviewed Dave McGuinness. Well, if it finishes by the time we finish, or if I'm still on, I should say, let us know. I'd like to hear it. Darren Sweeney wants Kenny to lose the job. And Graham Farrell says it'll be bigger than fuck Scalacci and the Snapper, my Kenny-nomics. Is Mikey Johnson the greatest Irish football player ever from Conor McCarran? Don't be silly. Of course he is. Graham Farrell. The van. Yes, it was the van. The fuck Scalacci. T-shirt. Michael Cooney. I can't see his contract being renewed. Surely he'd have signed it by now. The FAI are normally very coy with these sort of things unless they have absolute faith in the manager. I think they tend to, and rightly so, they kind of sit back and see where it's going. And I think they'll be very coy about this one. If there's a miracle and he turns it around, who knows? But I think maybe they have their mind set up. Mark P. Sinnott, a United Ireland team's a pipe dream to political reunification. Well, I don't know. Maybe the next 900 years. Graham Johnson is the starter now. No Prober in the team. No United Ireland team. Oh, we see. Jesus, who started the United Ireland thing? It's gone all political now. I knew that would happen. We had COVID, and now we have a United Ireland team. Christ. Adam Kavanagh, how you doing, Adam? The campaign isn't a write-off yet. We could still benefit from a freak result elsewhere in the group. This is true. Yes, the straws are being clutched at here, but it's still a possibility. 2 points for both games against the Dutch could happen. Look, do you remember Trapattoni, Euro 2012? Not the tournament, because I want to forget about that, but the qualification. We looked dead and buried. And Armenia did the business against Slovakia. I think they beat 4-1. I think they battered Russia. Well, it can happen. May not, but it can happen. So keep the faith. Adam T. It's September. We should be parking the bus, Mourinho style in France, as someone channels it in or Jason McAteer against Holland. You know it's not going to happen, Adam. It's going to be 5 at the back. It's going to be 5 at the back, but I doubt it on the bloody left. I'll take Sebastian Olsen. Yes, I would too, actually. The inner Jason McAteer. Michael Cooney, I think the job was too big for him to begin with. Well, I mean, I'm not a believer in writing somebody out before they have a chance, which I think a lot of people did do, but maybe it is the case. Graham, Dutch have a tough run of games ahead in a short period of time, but it's a big ask. Sebastian Olsen, I'll take the job for the rest of the campaign. Oh, you'll take it. Okay. In fairness, I've won the World Cup with Ireland on my Nintendo many times, and those are better results than today. Get in line, pal. I've won the treble on LMA manager. Peter Ford, Kenny out. Simple, out of his depth. Lee Carlson should be contacted, respected by the FA. He'd do a quality job and know if you've got any real players. It would be a shout. It would be a shout. Be him or John O'Shea. Look, let's get real here, lads. We're not going to be, if we do get rid of Stephen Kenny, we're not going to be able to get a top manager in at all unless we get a Dennis O'Brien, but that's not going to happen. They can't afford it. It's going to be a coach style player. Graham Farrell is delighted that Northern Ireland have lost 1-0 to Kazakhstan at home. Brian Ford, should the FAI go after a manager like that John Herdman fella who manages Canada? Look, they could. I mean, when Jack Charlton, for example, I know I always go back to my history, but I mean, I do run an Irish football history page. Jack Charlton was a complete out of the blue. Decent manager, Division 2 level, walked out in Newcastle. He was a bit out of left field, but it worked. It can work. Kathleen Boland, Ryan Manning and the lad from Blackmore should be getting a look in. That was Lennon. No, Smodix. Sorry, yes, Smodix. Lennon, I think he's Middlesbrough now, isn't he? Smodix, yes, I agree. But why isn't he? What's happened there? Dave McGuinness, Kenny Nomics in the interview, we beat Gibraltar by the same scoreline as France and Holland. Did he actually say that now, David? Are you being disingenuous? But I would actually half expect him to say it. Graham, 3-5-2 v Gibraltar is tactical madness. Yeah, agreed. You just go for it. Gibraltar is shite. You just go for it. You know what I mean? You just go for it. Go for the throat. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm all for playing a bit of nice football, but sometimes you just need to go for the result. Like, Joel Stevens, you need Big Sam. Oh, God. He had a 100% record with England before the press nobbled him. You mean before he nobbled himself? Yeah, Big Sam. Got West Brom relegated, didn't he? And Leeds. Got a nice payday for it, though. Shane Brown, competent performance, job done. Could have been 6 or 7. Jason Knight, man of the match. I think Kenny will hang on until the Dutch go. I think Kenny will see out the campaign, lads, if I'm being honest with you. I think Gibraltar away is the only thing that would cost him his job, I think, would either, other than an absolute mullering by the 2 top teams, would be maybe a banana skin against Gibraltar. But yeah. Oh, he did say that, did he? Oh, Christ. I knew he would. Knew he would. Blue and Gold, Kenny out on the YouTube channel. Graham, would love someone like Francesco Ferrioli, or will stay, but no chance the FAI even know who they are. Or will stay, sorry. I don't even know who will stay is. Michael Cooney. How many do you think Ferguson can score for us? I think he can score a lot, a hell of a lot, and he's every chance of breaking Robbie Keane's goal-scoring record. But it all depends that he stays injury-free, and he gets a bit of luck, and it all depends on if he actually plays in a good Ireland team, because Robbie Keane did play in a very, very good Ireland team, and he played for a lot of games as well. And Gray Farrell, Jesus Christ, poor Steele doesn't help himself, doesn't he? Nope. I knew he was going to say. That's the thing, though. We knew he was going to say it. We knew we were going to say. And I like Steve Kenny. John Foy, I can't see them beating the two top teams in curve form. But here's hope. Look, you never know. You never know. I doubt it too, but you never know. Right. Well, do you know what? It's 20 past 10, lads. I think I'm going to leave it there. Half an hour. Just want to say a big thank you for your comments. Big thank you for your support over this window. We are going to be live, to be confirmed the time. We're looking at about 8-9 o'clock because it depends. I'm flying in from to Gatwick tomorrow. So we are going to go live, but it just depends on what time I get in at. We will let you know a bit because, flights are late, and it is me we're talking about here. It's always bloody late. But we are going to do a window review. So do join us for that. We're going to let this digest. We're going to take in the press. We're going to take in what Kenny has said, because I don't know other than what David has told me there about Kenny-nomics. But just, we're going to be back on tomorrow, and we're going to have a look at all of that. So we want to hear from you again, lads. As always, we want to hear from you, the Irish fans. We want to give you guys a voice. And it's been a blast. Has been great. I'm going to read out the last 6 comments, guys, and then we're going to take it there because I'm dying for a chipper before I go back to Blighty. The chips are rubbish over there. Blue and gold. If Ireland were a club team and had these results, would the manager survive? Absolutely not. Dave McCarran. Now that Adam Ida has got off the mark with his first Ireland senior goal, do you think he would beat Robbie Keane's record? No. Different type of striker. Glenn Forbes, nice job, Dave. Thank you, Glenn. Adam T. We would have 41 points if we were a Premier League club, so he'd survive by the skin of our teeth. Oh, very technical. I love it. Graham Farrell, Delhi would keep an ear out for it. That is for the live show that we are doing tomorrow. Please do. And Adam T says, and yes, I did the maths. And the last comment will go to the lovely Dave McGuinness. Brilliant coverage this week. Well done to all at the GM and Lansdowne Road. Thank you, David. Thank you, everybody. It's been an absolute blast. And thank you for your support. If you don't already, head over to greenmachinepodcast.com. We got a shop there if you want to support the page. We have a nice jersey and a badge collection, so you can pay for my future trips around Europe. If you don't already, head over to YouTube. It's a lovely little subscribe. We're trying to grow the YouTube channel, so please do. Where this is live, and we're also, of course, we have our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. So just pop in the Green Machine or Lansdowne Road. We're both there, I suppose. Anyway, listen, thank you very much. And Graham, good man, Dave. Nice having a growing fan channel. Absolutely, Graham. We are a voice for the fans, but also a grown-up voice for the fans. And we like to talk. We talk about anything on this. We want to give you guys your opinion. Anyway, listen, I am going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much. You've been awesome over this week, and thank you for everybody who spoke to in Athens. Really, just had an absolute blast. Anyway, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to leave it there. And I just want to wish you all a very safe journey. If you're flying back, Aaron, a very safe flight. And we'll see you tomorrow, 8 or 9 o'clock-ish. We'll let you know. But we are live tomorrow. So good night and God bless.